Welcome to episode 2 of Lawyers and Libations, featuring Rebecca Hallberg.
Sarah Stottlemyre with Stottlemyre & Associates.
Thanks for coming back. So this week we thought it would be fun to talk about personal injury cases and kind of do personal injury 101. What we want our clients to know and potential clients to know if you are in an auto accident. And so we actually have a special guest today that we're super excited about. Chris Conifrey will be with us in just a little bit.
We love him. He's
love
very
him very
funny.
much. And as we are going to require of all of our guests, he brought us a special cocktail that we are going to drink.
Yes. Which we don't know what it is,
No.
Which always makes me a little bit concerned about things. He could be roofing us at any moment. But generally speaking, we do trust him, and so I hope it's delicious.
I think it'll be good. Hopefully not too strong. I am coaching kids soccer tonight.
I think it'll just make you more exciting
Probably,
to the kids.
Probably. I'm sure they'll love me more.
They will appreciate it.
I mean, I'm already fun. I guess I'll just be a little bit more fun for when we all get together.
Yes.
But so, in case you didn't know, Sarah and I we handle workers' compensation claims, but we also handle personal injury cases. And that's something that both of us enjoy. Sarah's probably more of the personal injury gal of the two of us, though. So I thought it would be great for me to kind of lead some questions with her today.
Hopefully I know the answers.
I mean, I'm sure she will. And just get some thoughts so that, anybody listening can get some ideas as to what to do if they are involved in an accident. So for Personal Injury 101 today, my first question for Sarah is, why should you call a lawyer if you are involved in an accident?
Well, I would say primarily because if you are hurt in an accident, and let's say it's not your fault, you want to be able to know what the liability policies are, the UM policies. You need to have your medical treatment taken care of, and you might not have any idea what you're doing. So you may very well be entitled to a settlement that you didn't know about if you didn't have a lawyer.
And I know before I was a lawyer, was involved in a minor car accident, and the insurance company called and was like, hey, will you take $2,000?
Oh, people take that all the time. It's a complete shit show. Do not do that.
So that should be a warning.
That's
like
a
if you
huge
get that
warning.
phone call.
Yes. Now, basically, I would ensure that you've spoken to somebody who handles these types of cases before you sign any sort of releases, because there are going to be issues. Say if you have health insurance, that could be subrogation, that they could come back to you for money for repayment of medical bills. It could be Medicare could come after you, Medicaid can come after you. There's all kinds of things that you may not know about. Short-term disability, if it's what's called an ERISA policy, which is an employer funded policy, they can come back and ask for money back. So if you don't know what the subrogation clauses are in anything that you're receiving, whether it be, again, short-term disability or medical health coverage, you could completely screw yourself. So you want to call a lawyer to find out what those policies
at least
say.
Find out. And just like we do with our workers' compensation claims, we do free consultations for personal injury. So,
yes.
And I would, not that you should call somebody else, but if you did, most law firms do the same thing. So I think it certainly makes sense post-accident, just call and find out.
Call and talk to
what's
somebody.
going on.
Yes.
Particularly before you settle.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned a word that I don't think a lot of people know what it is. What is UM?
It's uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. So in Georgia, the policy that you have to have for liability for your for your liability insurance if you hit another car is $25,000, right? And a lot of people just carry the minimum. So if you want to make sure that you're covered, you want to have a high UM or UIM coverage policy in effect if you get into a car accident, which basically means that I pay a premium monthly to cover my ass in case somebody has very small insurance coverage.
And so for our listeners today, like if you are listening to this for the first time you've heard about UM or UIM, should you call your
insurance
Should you
agent
call your agent?
immediately or get on one of those, I don't know, whatever the hell they do where they do the little on the computer and they do the little comparison or whatever. You want to get it up as high as you can. Now, in Georgia, that's going to actually raise your liability as well, but it doesn't matter. You want to have as high as you can. So if you get into a car accident, say if, for example, if you crash, somebody rams into the back of you, your car is completely totaled, you have to have multiple surgeries on your back. If they have $25,000, that's what you get if you don't have UM. If you have a UM policy of $300,000, then you can pull from that and you would actually go and collect your UM in addition to the liability, so you can have more bills taken care of and end up with more of a settlement money for pain and suffering.
So note to self, if nothing else,
for God's sake, get your UM up.
Call your agent today and find out if you have UM.
Yes.
So what are the top 3 things that you think people should do after they're involved in an auto accident?
Call the police. Unless it's your fault. If it's your fault, you probably
Run.
don't. Yeah.
Just
Take
kidding.
a really quick...
Don't leave the scene.
Take a quick jog if it is your fault. If you're drunk, run a little faster. But I would say definitely call the police so they can get a record of the accident and what happened, and they will ticket the other party, which is very important to demonstrating liability. You want to take pictures. Pictures are huge. I can't tell you how many clients of mine show up and they've had bad accidents, but they don't have fucking any proof of like what the car looks like. So you want to take pictures, have somebody take pictures at the scene. That's important.
And I would add to that, take pictures of your car, whatever car hit you, kind of maybe even do like a surround sound, surround video. But also, if you have immediate bruising or scratches, take pictures of all of that too.
Definitely
take
that. Yeah,
they're like, oh, well, I had this gash on my face, but then I don't have anything to show it later on.
Yeah, no. While you're preferably, if you're in the hospital, take a picture there when you've got all the bed with all the little like IVs hooked up in your little oxygen little thing. Do that. That's huge.
Insurance companies don't like to see that.
Oh, they hate that shit for sure. But yes, you want to take pictures. And I know, like, if you've just been in an accident, things are tricky and you might not be thinking about it. But please think about that. Like, and if you didn't get it that day, go to the place where your car is impounded and take pictures of the damn car. It's very, very helpful for establishing. If you have like a major impact case, then you can justify higher bills and then you justify a higher settlement. So important.
And so speaking of bills, if you are injured in an auto accident, who pays your medical bills?
You do, for the most part. So hopefully you have health insurance. That would be great. We always tell our clients, number one, go through health insurance if you have it, because that money comes out of your pocket at the time of settlement. So health insurance, very important, or Medicare or Medicaid. Now, a lot of those things, Medicare, Medicaid especially, but they're going to have subrogation issues, but they will negotiate the bills down, right? So if you have an out-of-pocket rate or just or a lien rate in addition, which you will be hearing from Chris Conifrey, who works with a medical kind of funding company that can get you on the same level playing field when you're needing medical treatment. Say if you don't have health insurance or Medicare or Medicaid, all of those things can be lowered than if you are just, say, paying out of pocket. So you want to...
And I would imagine kind of managing those costs are important because that's all stuff that's going to get paid out at settlement time, right?
Oh, it's going to get... Everybody's going to get paid out. So if it's health insurance, they're probably going to subrogate against your settlement. So, but it'll be at a much lower rate than if you were getting it treatment on a lien. So if you have health insurance or Medicare or Medicaid, get it through that, and then your attorney can deal with the subrogation lien after.
Perfect. Well, and that kind of brings us into a perfect segue for our friend Chris Conifrey, who is with Cherokee.
We love him.
We love him.
Very
He's an
funny.
amazing, super fun guy.
And I'm excited to see what drink he brings.
He's also a stand-up comedian.
He is a stand-up comedian.
And a good dancer.
He is the best dancer.
Very good dancer.
Know. Yeah, he is. We won't let him do Genuine Pony.
Not on the podcast.
Very
Maybe
dangerous. It's dangerous, but it is phenomenal to watch.
But one of the cool things that Chris does is he helps our clients when they do not have health insurance. And so we'll get into that in a few minutes with him when he comes back with our fancy surprise cocktail.
Yes, so we'll see you in a second.
Absolutely. Welcome back to episode 2 of Lawyers and Libations. Sarah and I are very excited to be joined by our friend Chris Conifrey.
His nickname is Condo, and we love him.
Who is co-founder and one of the owners of Gain Servicing. So, Chris, thank you for joining us.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
Most importantly, what is this libation?
What is
this
in
is,
this? So he had to make this
go ahead.
and bring it. Yep.
This is my version of a tequila old fashioned.
Okay, what's in it?
It's made with Casamigos Reposado tequila.
Delicious.
LaCroix coconut water and a little splash of Grand Marnier.
Okay.
The LaCroix brings out the vanilla of the Reposado tequila.
That's delicious.
Punch me in the face. If I said that.
It's fucking
It brings out the coconut brings out the vanilla.
So tropical and low calorie.
Very feminine.
And I'm trying to get this Senate-hearing microphone out of
Yeah. There you go. That's delicious. Rebecca
is.
can't drink too much because she
can't.
gets naked.
You have a soccer game,
Well, and she gets naked off tequila, but
No, it's not naked. That's
but
gin.
not at soccer game.
I get violent.
No, I get violent too.
I will punch a girl.
See, same.
We've taken one sip,
And
we're-
I do get horny too, but I mainly get violent.
She does. But I will definitely fight someone for sure. Generally boys though, not girls. She'll punch a girl.
I'll fight
punch
girls.
a boy.
I'm short
But
though,
this
so it
is
doesn't work out
delicious.
well.
We're not. It's
That
going to
was-
be completely fine.
So we've
very
taken one sip and peeled the onion back that
Yep.
much on
You're-
fighting naked.
you're welcome.
Fighting girls, fighting boys.
This is what we
naked
It will
at
be
soccer
great
games.
for, it'll be great for my soccer game this afternoon with
That's-
6-year-olds. I can't wait
I'm
to,
on the edge of
to
my seat.
punch another mom or
Good grief. Yeah,
Get naked.
Okay, that is it's
I'm
delicious.
loving this. I was following the whole of the first episode. The
What you
intro,
got? What do you think?
Well, I was standing menacingly in the corner in the studio. And I'm loving the whole vibe. I'm loving
Okay.
the whole.
Well,
it's a good
I'm
start.
glad
And
to be here for you.
And I'm happy to put you on the up escalator immediately as your first guest.
Thank you for that.
So I don't know.
This is what I've longed
who else
for my
said
whole
no,
life.
but thank you.
you were our first option.
You were. I mean,
Oh my
you
God.
do have experience as a stand-up comedian, so we needed somebody to bust balls with. So you're welcome. We love having you here.
Oh my
Can you
God.
tell us a little bit about? So we were talking earlier in the episode about kind of leveling the playing field for our clients if they don't have health insurance or
Right.
if they don't have Medicare or Medicaid or something like that. So what does your company do, and kind of in that arena, what can that do for people who have been involved in an accident?
Right. So I'll talk big picture.
Yep.
And then kind of, go down from there without getting in the weeds too much. I guess that's not what you're doing here.
No.
Yeah, big picture.
We're here to drink tequila.
Right,
and
exactly.
Talk shit.
And talk about lean.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
So big picture, you just said it, right? Leveling the playing field for all clients, right? The whole ecosystem of lawyers and providers and folks like us, legal services in all capacities, right?
Right.
So when client doesn't have insurance, they've been through something terrible in most cases, right? Their options are to have, as you said earlier, have their health insurance pay for it. They don't have health insurance. So then they have to either go to a doctor that will treat them on lien, meaning they will treat them and be paid when the case settles, if and when the case settles. So what the atmosphere or whatever that presents to providers, then they're faced with, well, do I want to treat all of these clients and have to wait a duration of what's most likely 13 months
Right.
to get paid, or can I finance that and sell that receivable to a
An outside
financing
group.
company, a third party? Right?
Okay.
That acts like as a third party.
So that way the
Right.
doctor doesn't go bankrupt while they're treating all these people on leave.
Exactly. It's tough
That's
to predict.
helpful.
It's a cash flow that's not very predictable.
Okay.
Right? And so there are companies that started like mine that would provide that liquidity either to the client from referring them, paying it case by case, or just buying multiple invoices or books of AR, accounts receivable.
Is that called paper?
That's called paper.
Look at me.
I mean,
Big brain on me. Look at that. I'm so
right.
proud.
Your street cred
I
just
know.
shut up.
It
It's
did just shoot up
Yeah,
very well.
it did. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to lob that softball for
Thank you. Thank you.
So that paper is now, if third party buys that paper, now attorney is negotiating with
That doctor.
that party. No, that party. the
With
party
now
that
they'll
bought
be
it,
dealing
right?
with you.
Right.
Okay.
That presented some problems along the way because when that was a space, as we call it in the financial industry, that got a little crowded in a sense of people bidding too aggressively for that paper. And when you do that, there's less room to negotiate on the back end because if a case is trying to get resolved and they need some help in reducing a bill, well, a third party's bought it, and if they're not versed in that, that's going to cause a big problem because they may not be their MO may not be to help level the playing
Right.
field. They have a financial interest.
They
in the
just
case.
want to make as much money as possible.
Right. Exactly. So that pendulum swung a little too far that way, say 5 years ago. It's swung back because those companies that paid too much for that paper, that was not a sustainable business model, and they just got out of it or went away. And so now different options have come up through different companies. And I think where we stand is that if we've evolved into more of a tech platform to manage all of that accounts receivable, SaaS-based, AI-enhanced. Now you know them.
SaaS.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Did you
creepy.
just say
That
AI
was very
enhanced?
creepy.
I
have no idea
I'm
what the fuck you're
co-founder
talking
of the
about
company.
anymore.
I don't
You
do-
lost
I
me
don't do-
after
Hey,
paper.
listen, I don't do a lot of the SaaS basing or AI
I
enhancing.
don't know what that means.
I'm fortunate to be surrounded by people a lot smarter than me. But what it is, the short version of that is if you can provide a platform that manages all of that paper.
I can still do that word. I
know.
Paper.
But I think that's about where you lost
And
me.
make
I don't know what
everyone's
the fuck
life
SaaS-based
easier
is.
in the whole ecosystem. Lawyers, providers, putting that together and freeing up everyone's time when they can automatically do case updates, have a central place for bills, notes, and records, have a central place to negotiate on the back end, and lessen the phone calls and emails that all go back and forth. You know
Oh,
your
that's
stuff,
nice.
right?
Yeah, I love that.
And what that does, again, in the interest of leveling that playing field, it frees up all of their time to do the things they're meant to do, right?
Right.
Doctors are meant to treat patients.
Right.
You are meant to represent your client, get them the best result, and provide them the eyes and ears along the way, and be that advocate for them rather than just, I'm so jammed with everybody else, getting
And
case updates and
negotiating,
negotiating, and I don't have
things,
and I'm just challenged to stay in touch with all
It
my
does take
clients.
a lot of staff
Right.
hours doing
Well,
that.
and I would say, Chris, I mean, where I think that y'all come in and are the most helpful is for our clients that don't have health insurance and they are in an accident and they're like, what do I do? Like, if they don't get medical treatment, they don't have a case. So, like, the
No.
only time that we can go and fight on their behalf and get them money or go to trial is we've got to have damages. So, the only way to get damages,
You got to get the
you
treatment.
got to get medical treatment.
Right.
Well, and it's even, I'll even go further than that. It's kind of a civil rights issue. People need access to health care.
Absolutely.
And they need access to, you
I
mentioned,
like where you're heading
Right?
with this, Condo. It brings me great joy.
this is, I went from pony
Yeah, genuine.
in the interest
Genuine
to
pony.
now I'm an advocate for
Now
access
you're
to health
doing
care.
civil rights
Right,
arguments. I couldn't love
no,
this more.
but it is. And
You're right. People don't have health. Like, if you don't have health care and you were hurt in a catastrophic accident, you are literally screwed unless you can get someone to help you pay for that medical care.
And historically, you had either your choice was to go to a provider that set up a business, and 80% of their business was personal injury. You mentioned that, the doctors that are dealing with that much volume, the care is going to be a challenge. And when you can have that access to every type of modality and treatment, that's important, and they need that.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's better
and
for
when
our
you can
clients. They get good treatment.
Exactly.
They get better, which is the goal. But then on the flip side, when it comes time for us to negotiate settlement or go to trial, then we've got a record of care that we can stand behind and that a jury will believe in.
And it's also, I think it's also kind of expanded, obviously, the access to the doctors in the sense that you used to have certain players that did treat on a lien, and then they unfortunately, they were the only ones because they were the only ones that could afford to treat on a
Right.
lien. And then they all get the bad reputation for inflating their bills. And then when you go to negotiate or settlement or you go to trial, they're going to look at it and be like, well, doctor, how much is this normally? How much would you normally charge?
100%. And you, when you have that wide range of treatment and doctors, and like, here's an idea. Let's look at it: specialty and geographic location and proximity to the client, and not just, where Attorney X sends 80% of their clients, right? And then so when you have that, objective intent behind it and just looking for the best. The more options you have, the more you're going to be able to look for the best treatment. Right?
Couldn't agree more.
Join one.
And so that's what, if we're doing at Gain Servicing, our job right, we're looking to find the biggest network of providers objectively, looking at it geographically. We have a map in our system and give them the options. In companies like mine. And I'm not trying to turn that into a commercial, but that's the intent to, again, the big picture, level that playing field and get people access to healthcare.
I think companies like yours provide a huge gap filler in our system.
Absolutely.
And look, you have to be aligned with, if you're going to say you're a patient advocate, you've got to fight that battle legislatively. You've got to fight it to be on the same side of the table with attorneys of just in your just everyday practices, right? It can't be once you start trying to, when the MO doesn't have a mission behind it and it's just an arbitrage of paper, then you're on the other side of the table.
Right.
Well, and I would imagine in your business as well, you probably are cautious about the attorneys and the doctors that you work with, based on who is going to negotiate fairly and who is like paying attention to cases and what likely outcomes are, and not just throwing caution to the wind and hoping for the best. Like, because it is I feel like there's a lot of math and that's involved in analyzing it.
There is, and there's also the old mentality for the sloppy provider and attorney, right? Run the bills up, reduce it to I'll take whatever at the end. Now it's be thoughtful, careful about treatment. Be what are my options with the resources that I have? And it's not just personal injury lien versus commercial insurance. Commercial insurance has limits to it too. And so a doctor may say, okay, I've got this procedure that is good. This one is 4 times better, but it costs twice as much. Let's kind of round table this and talk about it. That's a normal, ethical, living up to.
They shouldn't be having
absolutely
anyway with their patients. For sure.
That's what you should have on every level,
right?
And just don't. And you can't just distort that narrative because it's a PI case,
right?
No, and that's, as you know, that's what that's what where you stand depends on where you sit.
With you guys,
we do.
Well, so. As we briefly mentioned, Chris is also a pretty good stand-up comedian.
He's actually funny as shit.
Good.
Like he's
and so I was.
You ever see like a documentary on comedians, like how fragile that is?
Yeah,
he did stand up.
His poor ego just
a year ago.
Right now.
A year ago,
I'll take pretty good. Trust me.
Very good. He was at the Landmark and did like a 6-month study on stand-up comedy.
I took a class with Jeff Justice off.
He crushed it. I may have been recovering from COVID, and so my immune system was down, and I was hammered. But it was really funny. So I was hoping maybe you could share one of your
funny,
clean-ish.
Oh no, we don't need clean ever, but
a good joke.
Wow.
How about a good joke?
A good joke. All right. Here's what.
Joke.
I'll do both.
Okay.
You want a clean joke you can take with you?
No.
I mean,
fine, yes.
Sarah's not clean.
She's going to a soccer game.
I'm
Okay,
medium
fine.
clean.
Breathing.
In between clean.
She's going to be
That's fair.
breathing tequila all over people at a soccer game.
That's
you can't
6-year-old
joke
soccer
too.
mom.
As I blow my
That's
whistle, it'll be like
you can't
tequila.
that's a lot of red flags once you start doing that. So
I'm already in trouble with all the parents at this point in time. So
what's the best thing about
If you want me to fight him,
I mean,
sorry, I'm just saying I'll fight him. I'm taking tequila right now. So okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
What's
Go.
the best thing about Switzerland?
Not the neutrality.
I don't know, but the flag's a big plus. So stupid. But
That's a good one.
That's fucking
That was
terrible.
very clean.
That's terrible.
No, but the fun part about that was, you draw from your own experiences, right? And that,
So what you got? Are you going to out anybody? Because I'd love it if you out any of our friends.
What?
We
No,
have a bunch of
I was
Neanderthal
talking about my
friends.
daughter.
Oh, okay,
She's-
fine.
I'm gonna out
I do.
anybody.
I absolutely love his daughter so much. But we have We have a very good big group of friends that are complete Neanderthal nightmares that entertain us for days and days on end. So I was just hoping it was going to be some funny story about them, but fine, we'll go to the daughters.
No, now, yeah, I don't want to. Now I'm like, God.
No, what do you got? Go ahead.
No.
No. Okay,
No,
go.
I talked. There was a couple. Well, there was a few things we've done in the like. I did the Jeff Justice thing. I also remember the Atlanta's Funniest Lawyer thing.
Yeah.
Let me in. I
was
a
there
lawyer.
for that. It was funny as shit.
And then
Is that every year that we have Atlanta's Funniest
no,
Lawyer
we may bring that
competition?
back. We may bring.
I
it
think
back.
we should bring that
We
back.
should. Let's hear.
I'm not funny, but I'll go.
I'm not doing it, but I'll go.
We can
I
find
am
8
pretty
people.
funny. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty funny.
Well,
Atlanta's best dancing lawyer.
Look,
I would get up on that.
He literally just like he like puffed up a little bit like a peacock. Like, come at me, bro. That's
no,
what he
I
just
did
said.
not. You are funny. It's easy. Just grab a mic and get on stage and make people laugh. It's funny. It's easy.
And you're self-deprecating. Like, I feel like there could be a lot of.
I am
like,
very self.
Well, no, it was like when
Overshare.
you know. It was funny when it was like when I did the thing in 2018. I was single. I was like a Johnny's.
Oh, yeah,
Hideaway.
yeah.
Like I was friends with you guys. Like
you
you
were.
remember that?
We
Like,
were
it was
fun.
like
You'd
all
wear
the
that
material was like
snakeskin
You were a
jacket.
train wreck.
I wasn't
And-
a train wreck. Like that was relatively
We were on
the
Bumble.
problem.
But we would definitely-
the bar was low.
If you showed up
But I
at
wasn't
house with the snakeskin jacket on,
The snakeskin
we were
jacket.
clearly
I forgot, it
going to
wasn't
be
snakeskin.
dancing at John.
It was a python jacket.
That
No.
doesn't make it any better.
It was fucking bad.
It was hot. It was so
doesn't
hot.
make it any better.
It was amazing.
It was
I knew
hot,
we
yeah.
were going to have a good night. So one unknown fact about
No.
Rebecca also,
Yeah.
her face just got big.
Mm-hmm.
But so while Chris is one of the best male dancers I've ever met, Rebecca is the best female dancer I've ever met in person. And her favorite place is Johnny's by far. Late night, especially after a house night.
Yeah.
It is
There's 2 of those blue cheese olive stuffed martinis.
I mean,
And
the
then, like,
25-year-olds
a
fall
little
in love.
Vodka Red Bull from Johnny's on top and
Love
a
it.
Waterford Crystal. That's just a nice little
Those
floater
bartenders
drink.
love me.
They do.
You know, water for
They-
Crystal, but they only
It's
give
all
you
the heavy
plastic
crystal.
It's like
fucking
being
cups,
at your
right?
That's all the
aunt's
heavy
house in
crystal.
1985. It's like you've never you never paid attention to that?
No.
She drinks Mick Ultras there. She has no idea.
Oh, that's right. You drink
You guys are such assholes.
You go straight from
I
tennis
go,
to
well, yeah, because I'm like, you're such a dick. No, basically what happens is by the time I've hit Johnny's, I should no longer be fucking out. So I've cut my liquor content
Right.
in half so I can go
No, yeah,
straight
she
to
doesn't-
beers and
no,
then go home.
That's what I love. She just goes like stays
She goes
on.
balls out.
Then she's
Yeah,
like
she
lighting
does.
the wrong
I
end of a
don't.
cigarette at like
Fireball.
She is.
Red Bull vodka.
Yes.
Red Bull, and then like Timberlake hits.
Everyone
Can't-
jokes about
can't
my
fight the
Mick
feeling,
Ultra.
Then it's just it's on.
I mean, the Mick Ultra is smart.
It's just so I can
is.
drive
But if
home.
I'm going to Johnny's, I'm going all out.
You got the
fucking
foot on
hate
the
Ubers.
gas. I like.
I'm
that.
in.
I love that.
She is. So anyway, Rebecca is the best female dancer that I've ever met. But so would you say
Non-professional.
that, yes, I mean, you are kind of a fucking professional, but would you say that Johnny's Hideaway has the most dangerous drink in Atlanta? Have you had the Yabo?
Yeah,
frozen-
that swirly thing. It's like at Fat Tuesdays, the frozen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's like a.
But you think Johnny's, the Red Bull and vodka is worse
I don't.
or better?
The problem is, it's like what it does because you're having it at like 1 a.m.
Oh,
and it's like and the poor like they don't and you can't like spend money there. It's not even like they're like you know okay
basically
$6.85. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have a double. Okay, $7.15. It's like they're not.
It's so cheap.
It doesn't. You get your tab. You get your tab. It's like 1960.
well, it's because you need to pay more money to get in the front to skip the line. So maybe that's why they make the drink.
So
That's-
I went.
you're right, exactly.
You might not know this. The night after your stand-up show, I went to Johnny's afterward on a Monday. So I was recovering from COVID.
They open on Mondays?
yeah.
They are.
Oh, that's you.
I may have had too many Red Bull vodkas.
Hmm.
Left my ID and my debit card there.
Oh, you went back the next day.
Went back on Tuesday at noon because I had to get it all back because I was going to Charleston for
Underrated lunch, by the way. There.
work.
Delicious.
Right? Well, come to find out, I walk in, it's pitch black. I'm like, I can't see anything, and there are all of these like 80-plus-year-old buckhead men in there who eat lunch there every single day. I sit down with them.
Because they're lovely.
But when they also, the craziest part is I walk in, I go, hey, I think I left my ID here last night. This lady opens up this book like the size of the Bible, and she goes, Rebecca
Ding, ding,
Hallberg.
ding, ding,
And I
ding,
go,
ding, ding, ding.
yeah, that's me. And she goes, your tab's $16 from last night. And I go,
Yeah.
I almost died here. She goes, it's $16. And I go, here's my card.
There's a chance
I
I
was
may
like,
have
okay.
actually passed
I
away.
almost died.
And this
So
is the
I sit
afterlife.
down with these old men for
Naturally.
4
Right,
hours.
Right.
who buy me Mick Ultras all afternoon because I was not drinking any more liquor. They
Right,
read.
stop drinking.
One of them pulls out his Reader's Digest palm reading thing, and he reads my palm, and he was like, "You love art."
And she goes, I fucking do.
You
Who
like to
knew?
ski.
He's like, I'm art.
He goes, you have 3 children. He literally read, like, he knew everything.
Stop.
It was the craziest palm reading of all time.
This is actually shit that goes on.
I
you
know.
run into the most random
He told me
shit.
I could eat lunch with them any day. They go every
bet you
single
could.
day for lunch.
So Rebecca
I'm like, okay.
just had a birthday
They're available,
recently.
is what you're saying. Oh my God, that's so much.
And we
I
are
think
going.
he's happily married, but he did say I could come for lunch every day.
Allegedly. We're all happily
Right.
married. But we are going to go to Johnny's for your birthday. That is we're going to have a birthday fun lunch.
Can we wear costumes?
Fuck yes.
I
Of
love
course
a
we can wear
costume.
costumes. Yeah.
You wear costumes at Johnny's?
At 2 p.m. Who
I mean, I wear
doesn't?
costumes anywhere I can.
I
Is it
saw that.
Friday? I'm
You
probably
like a
gonna dress
roll.
up.
You do a little. I watched the first ep when I was lurking over there in the corner. You go into a little Zsa Zsa Gabor kind of voice every now and then.
Oh, do
When
I?
Yeah, you said,
Oh, well,
they're
she-
darling. I don't even know what that is. That's terrible, guys.
She does have
Like
that.
you do that, and
Well,
then you
she
do your little high.
she wanted to be a broadcaster. That's why she's
I
got
did. I
a
wanted to be
very
Katie Couric.
sexy
You look natural
voice.
with it. I mean, it's kind of.
Doesn't
I mean,
she?
You're doing it. You're off to
They
a
don't
good
make a lot
start.
of money.
I watched it.
What would you say, just to fucking bring this circle back around?
Circle it all back up
before
on
it
a
just
very circuitous circle.
completely slides off the
Right,
rails
yeah,
altogether.
right,
What
right.
would you say the most important thing to do if you've been in a car accident? You're around all these people all the time. No, you're not a lawyer, but you play one on TV. What would you say would be the most important thing to do to help your personal injury case? Condo.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, so we're going through
I know.
that. This
I
you know
already
that.
did the
Do we need to
disclaimer.
have
I
like a
would
little
say-
thing on the beginning and end?
Yeah.
where
A
we're
disclaimer?
Like,
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
We're fine.
I would say
Not appropriate for teens.
take pictures. That's what everything
That's what I said.
everything
I
everybody
said
tells
take
me.
pictures.
Take pictures.
Look at me. What else?
Don't admit fault.
Don't admit fault. Right?
If you're drunk, run.
See, you can't.
I'm just kidding. You can't say that, but I can say that. You do this bad.
Or just get a 6-pack of beer and start drinking on the side of the road. if you're like, I
Immediately.
just-
Yeah.
I mean, I was so stressed. This
Yeah.
is great. This is
This is actually
yeah.
terrible advice.
This is
no one
helpful.
should listen to any of this.
No, everything you said, and then call a lawyer immediately because you're gonna. There are so many.
Do you agree that there are good and bad lawyers out there? You know.
bad
them.
ones. the bad ones.
They're all the same.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
And I would, and look, it's very.
Call a good one. Do some
call a good one,
research.
do some research. Do some research. Call 3.
fuck's sake,
and then
yes.
and then make a decision. But it is a very nuanced process that you have never been through before, typically,
Correct. And it's difficult.
and it's difficult.
Should people follow? So, like, if I'm going to do housework, my very intense husband requires 3 quotes for anything before we make a decision.
Oh, housework. I was like, I don't know where this is going.
Well, I'm
But
just saying, so maybe you talk
if
the
you're
same
gonna
thing.
get work
You talk to
done on
3
your
lawyers.
house, yeah.
Yeah.
Call for
Right.
3 quotes.
3 quotes.
Your life post accident,
Yes.
unless you talk to us first and you're like, we like them.
Obviously. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
you know
like-
the quotes. That's a little different because typically, I don't know if you guys know
takes
this,
more
but
time.
plaintiff attorneys work on
I had no idea.
on
Contingency.
a contingency fee. That is
terrible.
often pretty
You
close.
don't need a quote, but like, talk to 3 people before you decide.
Talk to 3 people
Mm-hmm.
that and I think that yes, and if you're the more depending on whatever the circumstances of your case or different lawyers specialize in that.
Mm-hmm.
If if
Yes, there are
if you
attorneys that
fell off
specialize in
something- if there was a
med-mal
med-mal,
or
a
premise liability
liability.
or motor vehicle accidents
Mm-hmm.
or workers' comp. All the things. Everybody specializes in their things.
Exactly.
Just like doctors. Like, so when I have friends call me and be like, so what do you think? I got this traffic ticket to be on. I'm like,
Right. They're like,
Fuck no.
I have a real estate
yeah,
transaction.
exactly.
Will you help me with that?
Can
Yeah,
you do the
that's-
closing documents? I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. So no,
Right.
I can't. But
Yeah,
yes.
But we know people that do.
And here's the other thing is if you're actually hurt and in pain, you want somebody that can kind of talk you through it and that might be a little sensitive. I mean, if you're an asshole and you don't need that, then that's fine. But a lot of people, when they can't work, when they're in a lot of pain, they want somebody to be like, hey, I know what you're going through. That sucks. And like that can actually help talk you off a ledge instead of just be like, I've got 150 other fucking clients that I don't have time to talk to you right now. Here's my legal assistant that you can talk to for 3 minutes because she's got to talk to a bunch of other people.
That flowed out way too easily.
How was
I would
that?
say
Was it good?
a light bulb went off when you said that.
You're welcome.
Empathetic and accessible is very.
Look at you.
I mean, anything
Yeah.
else you need just.
That should be our new tagline.
Oh my God.
Empathetic,
Hashtag
and accessible. I mean,
Right.
we
With
are.
you-
Most of Rebecca's clients have her cell phone. Not gonna lie. Some of mine
Not
do.
the creepy ones.
Not all of them, but some of them do. I get
This-
Christmas cards. I love
There
them.
are creepy ones.
Oh my God. You have no idea.
They are a great source of referrals, though, down the road.
As I said, this onion getting peeled back is just.
That will be another
I
Mine,
didn't
look at
finish
you.
my tequila. So.
She's shit hammered. You have barely taken a sip of yours, and you're the biggest of both of us.
We're talking about patient advocacy here. I'm
Okay,
like,
that's fair. Fine.
Well, we're so glad you came to join us today.
Thank
This
you so
was
much. It was very
so much fun.
educational. We had a great time.
I love this.
Thank you for being our first guest
I
on
wanna-
a podcast
I want to
episode
come back. I
number
want to be
2.
like the AJ Benza on the Howard Stern show.
Oh, you wanna come back?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay.
Who's another like recurring guest on that thing? Not like one of those weirdo, like not one of the weirdo guys.
I don't know. Rebecca
Who was the one that
listens
used
to
do the
podcasts all the time.
baloney thing on Howard
See, I don't want to do
Stern's
that.
show.
I want to be
You wanna
just
the
like I want to
baloney
be
butt
like
guy?
maybe like a gossip. or
Rebecca,
something
what's
like
that Glennon Doyle one that you listen to? Like, do they have a
Don't start
reoccurring
doing like
guest?
horrible.
We Can
tricks.
Do Hard Things. That's my like pump up podcast I listen to every day. When
What
I'm
is?
like, We Can Do Hard Things.
We can
by
do
Glennon
hard
Doyle.
things, yeah.
Well, this is Dua
It's
Lipa.
lovely.
So
We
good.
will have some. I'm sure you can be very helpful when we discuss like female lawyers and things that moms have to get into and shit and
Okay.
dealing with in the whole legal field. Gear up. It's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm looking forward. to it. Can't wait.
I heard a pause.
He's like, I know a lot of female lawyers. And I know a lot of moms. I like both of them, so I'm
That's
there.
not what I said.
I know.
That's not even close to what I said.
But anyway, thank
He
you
does
so
have a
much.
precious wife who we couldn't love more. She's
Yes,
amazing.
that's it.
So
In the group
certainly,
that I surround myself, that's a lot smarter than me.
Yes.
And,
if anybody has any
amazing.
fun ideas or things y'all want to hear about, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to work on some great topics coming up.
And we'll have our guests, and they will bring surprise drinks every time. I do love a good surprise drink. I mean, that's a little fucking rough because it's out of my wheelhouse. It's delicious, but it's surprise.
Yeah, you're more like
It's
a vodka
right in my
wine.
wheelhouse.
I'm a vodka
I can't
soda
wait.
slut.
Definitely in your
I
wheelhouse.
can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to coach
Yes.
soccer
Please.
and then go to Mellow Mushroom.
Chris will be following her home to
Probably
make sure
dram
she
shot
fucking
it.
does not get a DUI. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Anyway,
I'm glad.
so
We'll just-
thank
we'll
you
wait a
so
little bit.
much for coming to join us today.
I'm honored and I'm not humbled. I hate people that say humbled
You're not
on LinkedIn
humbled.
when they do
There's
that.
You're not humble.
Yeah, there's not.
There is not one fucking
I
ounce
am
of
honored and I'm
condo
thrilled.
that's
and
humbled.
I love you
We're
both.
so lucky to have you as a
Thank you.
friend. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
cheers.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers, and we'll see you guys next time.
Woo.
Thank you.